In a small, sleepy town called Maplewood, nestled between rolling hills and sprawling meadows, life moved at a gentle pace. Among the town's residents was Eleanor Ellie Whittaker, a woman of elegance and charm, married to Thomas Whittaker, a reserved and dependable lawyer. They lived in a stately Victorian house on Elm Street, a symbol of their well-established life together. But beneath the surface of this seemingly perfect union, a hidden story of passion, betrayal, and longing lay waiting to be revealed. One crisp autumn evening, Ellie was tidying the attic when she stumbled upon a box of old letters. Covered in dust, it looked like it hadn't been touched in decades. Intrigued, she opened it and found a collection of handwritten notes tied with a crimson ribbon. The letters were addressed to her, but the sender's name was unfamiliar: Samuel Hastings. Curiosity overwhelmed her. She opened the first letter, and as her eyes skimmed the words, her heart began to race. Asterisk, my dearest Ellie. Every moment we shared lingers in my mind like the sweetest melody. I know the risks of writing to you, but my heart cannot be silenced. You are my light in the darkness, my secret joy in this complicated world. I dream of the day when we can be together without shadows. Until then, I remain yours, always and only yours. Samuel. Asterisk. Ellie's breath caught in her throat. Who was Samuel? And how had these letters ended up here? The next morning, Ellie's mind was consumed by the letters. She couldn't recall anyone named Samuel Hastings, but his words awakened emotions she hadn't felt in years. She decided to read another letter. Asterisk, my sweet Ellie. Do you remember the day by the river, how the sunlight danced on the water, and we laughed like children? That moment was my heaven, and I cling to it whenever I feel the weight of this secret. I know we're living a lie, but how can something so beautiful be wrong? You are my heart, Ellie, my only truth. Samuel. Asterisk. Tears blurred her vision. Ellie realized these letters were written during a time when she was already married to Thomas. The revelation sent shivers down her spine. Had she betrayed her husband? How could she not remember? Determined to uncover the truth, Ellie visited the town's historical archive, hoping to find information about Samuel Hastings. After hours of searching, she found an old photograph of a man with sharp features, piercing blue eyes, and a disarming smile. The caption read, Asterisk, Samuel Hastings, 1939 Maplewood Art Exhibition winner. A flood of memories crashed over her. Samuel had been a painter who rented a studio near the river. They had met at one of his exhibitions, and she had been drawn to his passion and artistry. Their connection had been instant, but it was more than a fleeting infatuation. They had shared secret afternoons, stolen kisses, and dreams they could never pursue. As Ellie delved deeper into the past, fragments of her affair with Samuel resurfaced. She remembered how Thomas had been distant during that time, consumed by his work. She had felt invisible, yearning for affection and understanding. Samuel had filled that void with his intensity and devotion, but their love had always been cloaked in guilt and fear. They had ended it before anyone could discover the truth. Or so she thought. Ellie's life turned upside down when she received an anonymous note in the mail. Asterisk, I know about Samuel. Panic gripped her. Who could have sent the note? Could Thomas know? She decided to confront her husband, but as she stood before him, the words caught in her throat. Instead, she began to cry. Thomas held her. Confusion etched on his face. Ellie, what's wrong? Through her tears, she confessed everything. She told him about Samuel, the letters, and the affair she had buried in her memory. To her surprise, Thomas didn't react with anger. Instead, he sighed deeply. Ellie, I've known for years, he said quietly. I found the letters shortly after your affair ended. I didn't confront you because I thought it was better to let sleeping dogs lie. I hoped we could move forward, and we did. But I've always carried the weight of knowing. Overwhelmed with guilt and gratitude, Ellie decided to let go of the past. She burned the letters, one by one, until only ashes remained. But as she picked up the last letter, she hesitated. It was different from the others. The date was recent. My dearest Ellie. If you're reading this, it means fate has brought my words back to you. I've never stopped loving you, even as life took us on separate paths. I wanted you to know that our love, however brief, was the most real thing I've ever known. Be happy, Ellie, and know that you will always have a place in my heart. Samuel. Tears streamed down Ellie's face as she read Samuel's final words. She realized that while their love had been forbidden, it had been deeply genuine. She folded the letter and placed it back in the box, deciding to keep this one as a reminder of a love that, though hidden, had shaped her forever. In the weeks that followed, Ellie and Thomas began to rebuild their relationship. They took long walks, shared honest conversations, and rediscovered the love that had brought them together. The shadow of Samuel Hastings lingered, but it no longer defined them. Ellie's story of hidden romance and forbidden letters remained a secret she carried close to her heart. It was a chapter of her life filled with passion and pain, but it had ultimately led her back to the man who had stood by her through it all. And so, in the quiet town of Maplewood, Ellie Whittaker learned to embrace the complexities of love, finding peace in the present while cherishing the memories of a hidden romance revealed.